Good evening, welcome, or welcome back to Golem Telly. I say welcome back because this is Prog 2. If you were here for Prog 1, you would have seen me looking at two of the biggest books that I've ever seen. They were the giant facsimile editions of the Tintin Adventures, Secret of the Unicorn, and Red Rackham's Treasure. Well, tonight, I'm going to be looking at something much smaller, but no less exciting. I have it here on my lap, and I'm going to hold it up to the camera 1 right now, and then we'll take it over to camera 2 and stick it under the retroscope and zoom in. Here it is. You see that okay? This, my friends, is the 1980 Marvel Comics adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back. I loved this book when it came out. I still do. I still love it. See? It meant so much to me back then, and it still means the world to me. But I haven't looked at it for years. I had it in 1980, obviously, and I read it over and over again. I was obsessed with it. And then, I guess I lost it over the years, and then I found it again, years later at a car boot sale. Or it might have been on eBay, I can't remember. Anyway, I bought it, a nice condition copy, and I put it away in a drawer like we collectors do. And I forgot all about it. And now that I've got my channel up and running, I thought to myself this morning, I'm going to look at the Marvel Comics adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back from 1980. That's what I'm going to do. And so here I am doing just that. Come on, let's go check it out, and then we'll meet back here afterwards. Okay, folks, are you sitting comfortably? This is one of my favourite things in the entire galaxy. It's the 1980 Marvel Comics adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back. Just look at it. Just look at it for a moment. Look how beautiful it is. Love that image on the front cover. There's Luke on his Tauntaun with his lightsaber out. Did he actually hold his lightsaber on the back of a Tauntaun at any point in the story, in the actual film? I don't think he did. Doesn't matter. But neither did a giant head and shoulders of Darth Vader appear over the Hoth horizon. So let's not get hung up on the details here. Okay, you'll see the names, the important names here. Archie Goodwin and Al Williamson. These are the two guys. I remember, as well as this this book adaptation of the entire film, I vividly remember my dad bringing home the Sunday newspapers and finding those weekly Sunday comic strips by these two guys, Archie Goodwin and Al Williamson. I would get them and I would cut them out and I would collect them week by week and build up my whole collection and build the whole story. I love them. I love the style of the artwork, and of course this book is absolutely filled with that artwork, and we're going to have a jolly good look at the whole thing. Let's just turn it over and take a look at the back cover. The Star Wars saga continues. The most eagerly awaited science fantasy film of them all, now in a complete full-colour illustrated version from Marvel Comics. And there's the whole gang. Luke and Han and Leia and Chewie and 3PO and R2-D2 in the snow, shooting in all directions, just in case. Did the 6 of them ever appear together in one scene in The Empire Strikes Back? I'm not sure they did. Anyway, doesn't matter. Right, let's get it open. Quick look at the spine. This is a nice copy, isn't it? It's in good condition. Spidey, web head on the spine there. Marvel Comics and Arrow Books, and this is the UK edition as well. There we are. On the back, you can see it says 90p. 90p won't get you a lot these days. Okay. Here we go. We're going in. Marvel Comics and Arrow Books. Yeah, I love this. This is such a timeless logo, isn't it? How perfect is the Empire Strikes Back logo? Has there ever been a better logo for a movie ever? Nope, it hasn't. Here's the stuff at the front, which confirms that this was published in 1980 in the UK and Great Britain by Arrow Books and Marvel Comics. And this is it. This is where it all kicks off. Long ago in a galaxy far, far away. Don't worry, I'm not going to read the whole thing, by the way. We're just going to enjoy the artwork, just take a look at sort of key scenes, key moments, and see how they stack up against what was in the original movie. And that should do, shouldn't it? By the way, I'm getting that lovely comic book smell. If only you could smell what I could smell. Actually, just go back to page 3 for a second. Yeah, so Archie Goodwin doing all the writing work, Al Williamson with most of the artwork, and then you've got these other guys. Based on the screenplay by Lee Brackett and Lawrence Kasdan, from the story by George Lucas. The greatest space fantasy of all. It's true. After the destruction, there's the opening crawl. I like the way they've done that there. Luke on his tauntaun. You know what I particularly like about this edition, what I remember so well, is the bold colours, the skies in the background. I mean, the sky on Hoth was never red as far as I can recall. Maybe when the sun was going down. Did it ever have a sort of red sky? I can't remember. Don't think so. But here, you've got this really sort of deep, rich red. And Luke gazing in the other direction. And that, I guess it's the same. Is it the same as the opening crawl in the movie? I don't think it is. After the destruction of the most feared battle... No, it isn't. It's different. The Empire has declared martial law throughout the galaxy. 1,000 worlds have felt the oppressive hand of the Emperor as he attempts to crush the growing rebellion. As the imperial grip of tyranny tightens, Princess Leia and a small band of freedom fighters search for a more secure base of operations. I don't know, I remember bits of that. Bits of that sound familiar, but I think that's different from the movie crawl. I'll have to check it later. Hoth! Exclamation mark. A world of frozen landscapes and sub-zero temperatures. On patrol, Luke Skywalker pauses, scanning the sky with his macro binoculars. And there we have... See, look. In 3 panels, you've got a bright red sky, a black starry sky, and a deep blue sky. That's weird and bizarre, and I love it. And it makes this... It's the kind of thing that makes this book unique and such a pleasure. And a lovely addition to the movie as well, if you're a big fan. And there's Han Solo. See you at the base. Again, more different coloured skies. That's, it's a small detail, I suppose, but it works for me. He definitely didn't say son of a jumpin' anything in the movie. Anyway, he gets whacked by the Wampa. And then we see the probe droid emerging from its meteorite crater. Not really a meteorite though, is it? There's Echo Base. There's Chewie being given a hard time by Han Solo. Chewie has it coming with the Falcon's lifters. The sooner they're fixed, the sooner we're out of here. Yeah. So the dialogue's all pretty unique to the comic version here. Very different from, well, pretty different from what's in the movie. Talking about leaving again. Thanks, Major. Major Bren Derlin, is that Major Bren Derlin? Correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, write something in the comments section below. That's what they say, isn't it? Because he doesn't say that to Bren Derlin in the movie, does he? He says it to General Raiken. And I think I'm pronouncing Raiken properly. Most people don't. I may be the one pronouncing it incorrectly, but I think it's Raiken. So where's Raiken in this one? Not here. You're a natural leader, we still lead you. That's Leia, isn't it? That's when they're having their little lovers tiff. Don't go all mushy on me. So long, princess. I love it. You know the problem with Star Wars these days is this kind of dialogue is long gone. It's all over. We need a new Star Wars character who's got all the charisma and the sort of the cocky flyboy style of Han Solo, but we haven't had that since, well, The Empire Strikes Back, really. Ah, dear. And they're still arguing, aren't they? The artwork is great. It's simple artwork, as in the style is you know, it's not too complex, but it really captures the faces of the characters brilliantly. It's Al Williamson, isn't it? I always get them mixed up. Yeah, Al Williamson does the artwork. Let's just double check. I want to make a fool of myself. Yeah, so Al Williamson's artwork is simple, but so iconic. Oh, I hate using that word, but you know what I mean. It works. And again, look at these wacky colours. You've got this kind of mauve against the orange background. You know, who would have thought of that? And then it switches to yellow against blue, yellow against red. It's so much more fun reading the story with these colour changes going on at random intervals. I can't explain why, but it's just brilliant. I love it. Anyway, let's speed it up a little bit. There's Luke in the Wampa's cave, and he can't reach his lightsaber. What a bummer. Only about a meter. Might as well be a light year. Of course, we don't actually hear any of Luke's thoughts. It's just a well-filmed scene, isn't it? It's a well-shot scene. So it's nice to sort of have a little thought bubble there. Anyway, this is nicely done as well. Even though they could have shown the image of the Wampa. I mean, in the movie, you know, they as far as I'm aware, they limited the glimpses we had of the Wampa because it was an expensive special effect, right? And it worked. It made the Wampa all the more scary. In the comic book, they didn't need to do that. But in keeping the glimpses of the Wampa to just his claw and then, you know, his arms reaching out here, it keeps that sense of mystery. So good artistic choices. They're all still arguing. Look, these guys are arguing. It is not my fault, you malfunctioning twerp. He's so rude. I did not ask you to turn on the thermal heater. I merely commented that it was freezing in her chamber, but it's supposed to be freezing. Oh my goodness, he's such a fusspot. Anyway. And Han Solo's got no time for C-3PO either. Okay. Now, this, I think, is this, Did this appear in the movie at all? I don't think it did. So they're examining... No, they can't be. Hang on a minute. How do we get to this bit? An urgent check with the watch officer confirms the worst. Unless we find him fast, Luke is dead. Maybe by morning, adapting them to the cold is proving difficult, and we've had other problems. Someone attacked one of the Tauntauns. Right, okay. So this, of course, famously, The Empire Strikes Back, there were a number of scenes that were cut from the final film that didn't make it into the final film, including the large-scale Wampa attack on the Hoth base. And this is a little nod to the this is the aftermath, or a sign of the aftermath of that attack. A dead Wampa. We definitely didn't see that on Echo Base, or in Echo Base. At Echo Base? In the movie, anyway. Right, so he's going to go out and... I love this line. Then I'll see you in hell. It's a great line. Oh my god. See, Star Wars doesn't have that anymore. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe. There's Luke struggling, Ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi. You must go to the Dagobah system. You will learn from Yoda, the Jedi Master, the one who taught me. In the movie he says, who instructed me, doesn't he, I think? I like this. You're our only hope. Ben! And then he faints. Just in the nick of time, Han Solo appears, cuts open the Tauntaun, doesn't he? Do we get to see that here? Will we? Won't we? Don't know. They've got to close the door back at Echo Base. Right, this is all going well. Next morning, so we didn't see him cut open the Tauntaun in the comic strip version. R2 with his tactless odds calculations. Chances of survival are 725 to 1. Well, never tell me the odds. And that's nice. Here we go, back to tank. Again, more wacky colours. This time it's in pink with a green 2-1B. Looks really good, doesn't it? We all know what colour 2-1B is. Was he green? Yeah, he was. It's coloured in green here. In fact, what's that? That's not 2-1B. Maybe it is. It's some sort of base. Some platform rather than his spindly legs. Commander Skywalker has been in Dormo shock, but is responding well to the Bacta. He's presently out of danger. And then she's all, oh, thanks, Han. I'm glad you found him. Maybe they're going to get together after all. Okay, here. What's this? This is the Wampa attack. I'm a bit confused because I thought that the dead Tauntaun was... And maybe that was a dead Tauntaun as a result of another Wampa. Maybe this is the full-on Wampa attack that was the cut scene from the movie. R2's electronic shriek brings rebel guards running swiftly. Suddenly, what was once a corridor becomes a battleground. Yep, okay. Right, and then they go and... Well, this is the battle about to begin, isn't it? There's old General Raiken, played by Bruce Bower. The other thing that I remember seeing Bruce Bower in was... I mean, I know he's a respected actor. He was a respected actor. He's passed away a long time ago now. But he was in that episode of Fawlty Towers, wasn't he? The Waldorf Salad. He was. I mean, if I'm thinking of the right guy, he was amazing. All right, here comes the battle. This Hoth section dominates the first half of this entire book. So the book is around about 220, 230 pages long. So you get your money's worth for 90p. Oh look, now they're tackling this. Yeah, actually, that's what happened in the movie, isn't it? They then went to tackle the probe droid, and then that alerts Vader on his Super Star Destroyer. I think Ozzel's in trouble here, isn't he? I think we found something, Admiral Ozzel. Mr. Bronson from Grange Hill. The report we have is only a fragment. Oh no, hang on, that's not Ozzel. This is Ozzel. Is this Ozzel? Doesn't look like Ozzel. Al Williamson's version. We've thousands of probe droids searching the galaxy, Captain Piet. I want proof, not leads. I don't intend to continue chasing endlessly around the cosmos. Almost said corridors. I was thinking of Mr. Bronson. It was Mr. Bronson, wasn't it? The Hoth system. That's it. Oh, and at this point, let's take a moment to remember James Earl Jones, who passed away, I think it was yesterday. Today is the 11th of September, 2024, and I think it was yesterday or the day before that James Earl Jones passed away. And that's a tough one to take. James Earl Jones. I never met James Earl Jones. I met Dave Prowse a couple of times at those shows and got him to sign my large print. I'll have to show you one of these days. But never met James Earl Jones. But anyway, that's irrelevant. We were all familiar with the brilliant voice of James Earl Jones as Darth Vader, and then obviously he was in Coming to America and loads of other stuff, Field of Dreams, and he made it to 93. Rest in peace, Mr. Jones. Okay. And I guess that looks like the end of what would have been, I mean, this would have been released, I need to go back and check actually, but these were weekly or monthly comic strip, like individual comics, and then they've obviously been sort of compiled into one book. What's that, 40 pages in? We're proceeding to the Hoth system full speed. Chapter 2, Battleground Hoth, and I'll speed it up a little bit as the battle unfolds. Ah, it's beautiful artwork. There's Luke. You all know the story, don't you, about Luke Skywalker, about Mark Hamill, why they put that scene with the Wampa attack into The Empire Strikes Back, because he had a car accident between the filming of Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. Came back with scars all over his face, and they had to figure out a way of working that into the story. And so they came up with the Wampa attack. That's what I heard anyway. And that's why his face has changed quite significantly from Star Wars to The Empire Strikes Back, those 3 years. Anyway, he'll be all right. Uh-oh. Awkward. Leia, I don't really know how to say this, but you must know you're the only one I... Oh dear. Just in the nick of time. R2-D2 and C-3PO arrive. That could have been something they'd never live down. Okay, these are great scenes with all of the gang together. What was I saying earlier on? Did they actually share a scene together, all 6 of them? Yeah, here's one. Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, R2 and 3PO. All 6 heroes together, making us laugh. And we've lost half of them, haven't we? Oh, that's really sad. I don't want to be all morbid, but with those 6, we've had to say goodbye to Peter Mayhew and Kenny Baker, and now Carrie Fisher. Saying now was a few years ago, but there's only Han, Luke, and 3PO left. It's not fair, is it? Uh-oh. Oh yeah, they did actually snog, didn't they, in the movie? Oh well. It was a different time. Okay, let's get back to the battle. That's the end of Ozzel, and Piet gets bumped up to Admiral. Admiral Piet, well done. Piet, well done, Admiral Piet. Congratulations. Okay, look at this. This is awesome. Look at these twisted sort of landscape features. Now, there was none of that in the original film, of course. So this is pure Al Williamson magic. And it's just superb. And then, of course, some brilliant colours. What a great image. It's mostly shadow, but it's still clearly Carrie Fisher. And that purple in the background, the orange in the foreground. This is beautiful. Okay. Right, they're still struggling to get the Millennium Falcon working, and there's Dak. Poor fella, he doesn't know he's a goner yet, but anyway, he's not going to make it to episode 6. This amazing opening in the film, of course, where we just see the walkers in the distance on the horizon, and then obviously, wow, it's a great image. Okay, where are we? Page 66, 67. Again, I'm going to speed through the battle a little bit more quickly here, so we can get to the Dagobah and Bespin scenes. Should I have done this as 2 videos? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe one day. That's a brilliant full-page panel. And it's kind of truncated. It's small, obviously, in this novel-sized edition. And do you know what I've got upstairs somewhere? Is one of those artist editions of the Al Williamson and Archie Goodwin Star Wars artwork. It wouldn't be in full colour though, it would be in black and white, and I think it would be the original sort of artwork before it was processed. Okay, I'll have to get that out one of these days and do an overview. Chapter 3, Imperial Pursuit. See, we're still on Hoth, and we're on to the 3rd issue. Yeah, it was about another 40 pages. Great moments, fabulous scenes. Luke Skywalker bringing down an AT-AT single-handedly. Okay, they're on their way out. Say bye-bye to Echo Base. Vader is in the building. Captain Solo, perhaps I could make a never mind. It can wait. Look at that. You get a look like that from Harrison Ford, you know it's time to shut up. Okay, come on, hit it. There's some great dialogue. This bucket of bolts is never going to get us past them. No problem. This baby's still got a few surprises left in it. That's pretty much as it sounded in the film. Great lines. And then someday you're going to be wrong, and I hope I'm there to see it. Punch it, Chewie. I want that on a t-shirt. I could probably get that on a t-shirt, can't I? I'll check it out later. Or can you check for me? Someone check it out and let me know in the comments. I like saying that. Let me know down in the comments. It's a great shot of the Falcon. Alright, see you at the rendezvous. That's the end of that battle. They're all going their separate ways. He's missed out on his prize again. I love that, and I like the way that they had to take evasive action in the movie, but surely they would have seen the other giant Star Destroyer coming. Instead of only at the last minute noticing that there's a Star Destroyer right in front of them, just as the Millennium Falcon pulls away. I mean, it's daft, it's brilliant, we love it. But it is a bit daft, isn't it? Anyway, shut up or shut down. That's not what he says in the movie. He goes, shut him up or shut him down, isn't it? Something like that. I'm getting confused as to which movie. I need to watch them again. I haven't watched them for a couple of years, I don't think. Ooh, I'll tell you what though. I am going to see them, all being well, the next couple of Sundays, these Star Wars Sundays at Cineworld. And starting off with Rogue One, actually. I haven't gone to see all of them, but I'm going to go and see Rogue One. I didn't bother with the prequels. I'm going to go and see Rogue One on Sunday. And, amazingly, I've managed to convince my darling girlfriend, Tashi, to come with me. And she was dead set against going to see Star Wars. She's not a Star Wars fan, let's just leave it at that. But I think I managed to convince her earlier on to come with me on Sundays. That's good news. All I got to do now is get her to come with me for the following 2 Sundays to see Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. I think I can hear her now saying, don't push it, darling. Don't push it, Jezzy. Don't push your luck. But I'm going to push my luck. See if I can convince her. Okay, they're struggling to get away. What are they going to do? You tell me, what would you do? Chewie set course 271. I don't know what 271 means, but I assume it means suicide mission. And even Leia's impressed. You're not seriously going into an asteroid field. I like the way 3PO's speech bubbles are in gold, yellow. You don't have to do this to impress me. I think he does. I think that's exactly what he's doing. He wants to impress Princess Leia. This is cool. So we see a little glimpse of the back of Vader's head, scarred and charred. But of course, it's completely in shadow. So we just get that out. I loved this image when I was a kid. Trying to see if I could spot any more detail and work out what Vader really looked like under there. How cool is the Super Star Destroyer? And the sheer size of it compared to a Star Destroyer, which, as we know, is ridiculously huge, because we saw one right at the beginning of the first movie and we all gasped because we couldn't believe how big it was. Well, it's dwarfed by this monster, which is the size of a city, isn't it? Something like that. But what an awesome looking ship. Fabulous. The designs have never been bettered. Well, your worship, you said you wanted to be there when I was wrong. I take it back. I mean, it's fab dialogue. It's brilliant. And we just don't have anything like that nowadays. What a shame. Maybe Star Wars needs to, I don't know, maybe, dare I say it, Disney might give somebody else a go? Because they've had it for a decade, haven't they? And it's not really worked. I'll tell you what was good. Andor was good. And the first couple of everyone knows this. The first couple of seasons of The Mandalorian were good. Not quite as legendary and as memorable as the original trilogy, of course, but nothing could be. I think only Rogue One, in my humble opinion, has come close to matching those original 3 films. I'm looking forward to seeing it on Sunday on the big screen again. All right, Dagobah. Do you know what? I talked about the wacky colours before I get to it. My favourite colour scheme in this entire book is the colour scheme for Yoda. And the way he looks, it's not exactly what we see in the movie, that's for sure. I mean, it starts off well. We think, okay, yeah, that's undoubtedly Yoda. Chapter 4, to be a Jedi. But when you see him, and you see the way he's depicted in this adaptation, with the colours as well, you might be surprised. Well, here we go, look. He's wearing a purple cloak, and he's kind of blue, isn't he? There you go. This is what I love. Look at that colour. I love it. And first of all, it looks nothing like the Yoda from the movie. Okay? Completely different. This lovely long white hair, thick mane of white hair he's got. The face is totally different. The ears, okay, fine, the ears are just as big, but the colour just completely changes what we're seeing, or changes it from what we're used to seeing in the movie. I love this depiction of Yoda. Okay. Meanwhile, we're trying to draw out Han, Leia, Chewie, and 3PO. But they've got other things to worry about. But still time for a bit of a smooch. That's 2 guys she's smooched in this book already. Goodness gracious me. She's going to get a reputation. But she's conflicted. And as this particular scoundrel moves closer, Princess Leia Organa finds it difficult to argue the point. And swiftly, the time for arguing is long past. Then she breaks nervously away, perhaps frightened by what she feels. Or perhaps by how much she wishes the feeling would continue. We need some saxophone music there, I think, at this point. So, yeah. Okay, steamy. Okay, and here's the Emperor as well. Again, look, I love this image of the Emperor. It's different. And wait a second. I'm not exactly sure, but you know the Star Destroyer playset? Ooh, I think this is the Star Destroyer playset released by Kenner. Remember, for the action figures, those of you who know this stuff, it's got like a sort of a hanging down red thing, hasn't it? And I think it says on the side of the box, that's how Vader communicates with the Emperor. But then there's something else on the side of the box, like a different character. But look, isn't that the red thing hanging down? Which totally doesn't appear in the movie at all. It's just a big hologram, like a 3D hologram. Cool, I don't remember seeing that. I love this stuff. And I love the colours. I love the colour palette, if that's what we're calling it. And you switch from the sort of the icy blues and the crimson-y kind of reds here when we're out in space in the pursuit of Han Solo's Millennium Falcon. And then we switch to these kind of pastel greens and oranges and yellows and browns of Dagobah. It's fabulous. Just such a pleasure reading this book. Seeing it again, actually, for the first time in a long time. He will learn patience. We've discussed this before. Sound like a bickering old couple. We've discussed it before, darling. So much anger in him, just like his father. I think we've all learned the hard way that it was better when we just had little clues and little nods to these characters' pasts. I wish we hadn't gone back and seen episodes 1, 2, and 3. And episodes 7, 8, and 9 turned out to be a right letdown, didn't they? Full disclosure, I actually quite liked the first one when it came out, although I've not watched it much since. And I actually really liked The Last Jedi as well. Yeah, I know why people hate it. But I don't know. There was a lot of stuff in there I really liked. The third of those movies, though, The Rise of Skywalker, my God. I never thought I would hate a Star Wars movie as much as I hate that one. Can't believe it. Heartbreaker. All right, the Mynock hunt. Okay, let's speed this up again. Okay, the narrow escape. A giant slug, probably. Okay, well, out of the frying pan. Meanwhile, Luke is training. Look at that, it's a great image of Yoda. What a face. What's this little character here? I don't remember seeing any of these. That's a great shot. I love that silhouette. Brilliant. Well, this is a cool panel. I wonder if there was anything in the original comic. I've got it upstairs. I'll have to check it out. But I kind of like the fact that this panel only fills sort of half the page. That was probably going to have in the original release, the original monthly edition. Look how tiny Yoda is. This is fantastic. So the scale, it's very different from what we saw in the movie. I love this kind of, it's a montage obviously of all Luke's training, but look how small he's, like a little, like an elf. Look at this. Brilliant. Is that just, am I being tricked by the perspective? No, it is. That's how he's meant to be appearing, isn't it? I'm sure. Anyway, tiny, tiny purple Yoda. And then he gets the ship out. I don't believe it. That is why you fail. Great lines, great dialogue. Okay, bounty hunters. We don't need this. Go on. Who's this fella? Wasn't he a Doctor Who villain? I mean, hang on. Who was it who played General Veers? He was in Doctor. Hang on a minute. I'm sure. Oh, what's his name? Oh, please mention it in the comments or I'll check it later. The guy who played General Veers is the same actor, Julian Glover. That's it, Julian Glover. Didn't he play a part in a Doctor Who episode of an alien who had a sort of a this behind the sort of Julian Glover face, and he ripped his mask off, his Julian Glover mask off, and it was this. Am I getting mixed up? Or is that some sort of Doctor Who-y kind of Easter egg? Because it's not one of the 6 bounty hunters. It's not Bosk or IG-88 or Boba Fett or Dengar or Forlom or Zuckuss, is it? So who is it? See? Little treats. Okay. The escape, or eluding the Empire, but they're stuck on the back of that Star Destroyer now. Can I see that? My eyes aren't spotting it. Oh, we'll see it in a second, maybe. Okay, a bit more training, and of course, he knows he's asking lots of questions. There it is. That's a nice image, isn't it? That sort of side-on image of the Millennium Falcon stuck to the side of the Star Destroyer. And they have no idea where they've gone. Clever, clever. Well done, Han Solo. Flying away with the rest of the garbage. You do have your moments. Not many, but you do have them. That's nice. Okay, now they've got to go and find Lando there. Lando in the movie. I like the dialogue from the movie. Lando's not a system, he's a man. We don't quite have that here. I know a fella there. I'm looking forward to this Lando movie, I have to say. Don't know much about it yet. Donald Glover, I thought, made a brilliant young Lando. And I thought, what was it? Alden Ehrenreich made a brilliant young Han Solo. And I was really sad that they didn't do Han Solo 2. But now that they've confirmed that this... sorry, I'm getting off topic here. But now that they've confirmed that the Lando miniseries is going to be a movie, as far as I'm concerned, that's Solo 2. And I would love it if Alden Ehrenreich, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, makes a significant appearance in that movie. And it would be even better if it's a success. And then they go on to make a third Han Solo and Lando movie. They could just call it Han and Lando. I don't know, but it would be really good to have a trilogy there. Betrayal at Bespin. This might be maybe what were there, 6 episodes, 6 comics to make up the entire story. Cloud cars, twin pod cloud cars, not in the familiar orange. Lando, I love, again, Lando's colour scheme here. Look, he's not wearing the blue and grey, but green and red. A green shirt and a red cape. That's awesome. What a great look. There it is. Very cool, you slimy double-crossing no-good swindler. Brilliant. Again, we just don't have this kind of style and coolness and charisma and camaraderie in any modern Star Wars at all. It's a real shame. These guys. That's why I'm excited for, you know, the potential of the Lando movie, because Alden Ehrenreich and Donald Glover, they were good. They bounced off each other really well. They captured what these guys had, and that's what we need in Star Wars. A handsome fella. Righto. Again, Bespin with its kind of blue sky. I like that. I like blue sky Bespin. We do see a bit of that in the movie, don't we? Blue sky Bespin. Brilliant. Again, just a shadow. Really cool artwork. It's barely discernible against the background, but we all know who and what that is. That's my face. Well, next time learn your lesson. If you'd listened to Yoda, you wouldn't keep getting in trouble. Yellow sky, Bespin, nice. That's a great shot. I like this building. Time for another snog? Yeah, why not? Come on. I think he's a little bit jealous. Am I interrupting anything? I was just about to invite everyone to join me for a little refreshment. He's got such a great voice. I can't do it justice. Yeah, this is a cool ship. What's this? Got nothing to do with anything we've seen. Do you know I've got something in the attic upstairs? It was a Kenner sort of concept artwork, like made into an actual 3D toy, and it was the cloud car, but it wasn't a twin pod cloud car. It was still kind of that red orangey scheme, but I think it had more of that kind of Flash Gordon style to it. I'll have to go and take a closer look at that. Yeah, open that up one day. I don't think I've opened it in like 25 years, so we can have a look together. Okay, Luke's off to go and rescue his buddies. You see, I've just made a deal. It'll keep the Empire out of here forever. You sold him out, Lando. You sold out your buddy. How could you? Great scene. Brilliant. Just everybody in this scene playing it to perfection. And again, this is all the Boba Fett we needed up to this point. Mysterious. We don't know who this guy is, but we know he's trouble. We've had a Boba Fett oversaturation now, I'm afraid. And it takes away that mystique. Yeah, Luke's got to get out of there. He's got to go. Here's Ben. Making a late entrance, stylish entrance. You are the last Jedi, Luke. Be patient. And sacrifice Han and Leia. I can't, Ben. I can't. Luke, I cannot protect you. I never understood why. Maybe I'm just not thinking about it properly, but if you choose to face Vader, you do it alone. Use the Force for defense. Don't give in to hate, anger, fear. Why can't they help him? I've never understood that stuff. You must go alone. I must go alone. Why? The torture scene. Brutal. Brutal. And this is cool. Look, we all know. But of course, at this point, we didn't know who the another was. Just, take yourself back to 1980. We had no idea. Who is the other one? Who's this other Jedi? Imagine if they never made Return of the Jedi or any of the other movies. Who could the other have been? It's a great line. This deal's getting worse all the time. Okay. Poor old Han has been duffed up, and they've done it on purpose so that his pain and anguish, that's a great shot, his pain and anguish will be felt by Luke across the galaxy. And then the carbon freezer. Every scene in this movie is just perfection, isn't it? Hoth, Dagobah, the asteroid field, Bespin, the carbon freezing chamber, all of the big moments, everything hits the mark. It's like an album where every song is a banger. God, these guys, the only thing that will stop them from snogging is carbon freezing. I'll be back. The great line, of course, the one that Harrison Ford improvised when she goes, "I love you," and he goes, "I know," because apparently they filmed like 25 takes, and he was getting fed up, and he just went, "I know," and it worked really well, so they kept it in the movie. Slightly different here. He's talking to Chewie. Chewie says something which I'm not going to attempt to repeat. He says, "Yeah, I know, I feel the same way." Han, oh Han, I love you. I couldn't tell you before, but it's true. And this is actually quite a cool line. It's not as cool as the one we've all come to love, which is the "I know" line, but just remember that, Leia, because I'll be back. That's pretty cool. But it's a bit too Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it? What was Arnie doing in 1980? Pumping iron, I guess. All right. Great stuff. Poor old Han. And this must be it. The end. The final chapter. Chapter 6. Duel a Dark Lord. Han has been frozen. Lando has had enough. Vader is changing the rules all the time, shifting the goalposts. Yeah. That won't do. Okay, so Luke is now... he's arrived at Bespin and is being... Without him realising, he's being guided to his destiny. His duel with Darth Vader. Getting close to the end. Yeah, Chewie's not happy. And who can blame him? Lando is definitely he's trying to redeem himself now. So he's doing what he can to help Leia and company escape. Obi-Wan has taught you well. Is he right? And Yoda. Don't forget Yoda. Hanging on from that gantry, and here we go. We're getting close to the reveal all moment. They're still trying to escape. He's still sticking his thing into sockets that he shouldn't. This is brilliant. What a design! Who thought of that? Was it Ralph McQuarrie? Is that a Ralph McQuarrie image originally, and then just made real at Elstree Studios? About 5 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. Did I tell you I grew up in Elstree? No, I didn't. This is only Prog 2. Yes, I grew up in Elstree, and I live pretty close to Elstree right now. Where it all happened. All these great scenes filmed right there at Elstree Studios. Ben told me enough. He told me you killed my father. No. No, Luke. I am your father. No, that can't be. That's impossible. Search your feelings, youngster. Youngster? You know it to be true. Come with me. It's the only way. Well, we are here to tell you, Lord Vader, that there is another way. It's just that Luke hasn't thought of it yet, so he jumps off to his apparent death. But no. What a story. Okay, they're all going to escape now. Pretty close to the end. Lovely single panel. He's calling out to Ben, but that's not going to work because Ben, for reasons, said that he and Yoda can't intervene. Bring my ship in, that's a bit clunky. The line is bring my shuttle, isn't it? That's better. Bring my shuttle. And then he realizes something tells him he must call to Leia. Maybe they did know that Leia was going to be the another. But then if they did, then why have them snogging earlier on? It doesn't make sense. Okay. Get that Falcon underneath Luke before he falls to his death. So, Bespin, right, is like a big gas giant, isn't it? Like Jupiter or something. And so Cloud City kind of floats in the atmosphere, high above Bespin, right? Is that right? So I guess if he fell, he'd just fall into the deep into this sort of atmosphere. Would he keep on falling? Would he fall all the way through? Is there a solid core to Bespin? Someone must know. Okay, pretty much near the end now. They've rescued Luke. They know they've got to just elude the Star Destroyers. And in order to do that, they've got to somehow jump to light speed. But, well, you know, there's almost a final twist. But thankfully R2 saves the day by fixing the hyperdrive. And off they go. That did it. And he's disappointed. He turns from his terrified officers, walking slowly, contemplatively, as though focusing on another time, another place, perhaps the future. And of course, this was published in 1980, same time the movie came out. We had no idea what the future held. But the future would be Return of the Jedi, 3 years later. Last couple of pages, literally the last couple of pages here. Luke, Chewie and I are ready for takeoff. I'll see you on Tatooine. That's cool. I love the fact that we know where they're headed next. And that's exactly where they do go next. And don't worry, Leia, we'll find Han. Yeah, any good? No? Oh, they didn't do the bit of his hand being repaired. He's just in his... This is cool gear. It's not the same sort of dressing gown he's wearing at the end of the movie. And as the Millennium Falcon pulls away from the Rebel battle cruiser that has been a temporary refuge, those left behind have many thoughts, many uncertainties, but for this moment they also have peace. Take care, my friends. May the Force be with you. End. That was brilliant. God, I love this book. I might have mentioned that already. The Empire Strikes Back, folks. The 1980 Marvel Comics adaptation. And there you have it. That was the 1980 Marvel Comics adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back. Thank you for joining me for a nostalgic wander through that beautiful book. That's Prog 2 done. What's happening in Prog 3? No idea just yet, but I promise you it will be fun. I invite you to join me again. Don't forget to like and share the video that you're watching right now. Please subscribe to the channel. What was the other thing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, ring the bell for notifications, please. I can't wait to see what we do next. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you soon.
Evening shadow.